Welcome back. We are tracking the latest updates from Gaza. 7 Israeli hostages were handed over to the Red Cross on Monday morning, marking the first wave of releases under a new Gaza ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. They will be returning home after 2 years of deadly war. Ethan Moore, Gali and Ziv Berman, Martin Angrist, Omri Mirhan and Guy Gilbo Dalal and Alon Ehel were the first ones to be handed over. As part of the agreement, 20 living Israeli hostages are to be released in exchange for more than 1,900 Palestinian prisoners held in Israel. With the release of the first 7, now 13 more Israeli hostages are set to return in the first phase. Though details about the hostages and their conditions were not immediately available, news of their release was met with cheers and applause. Crowds gathered in cities and towns around the country watching live broadcasts of the events. In Tel Aviv, large public screenings drew thousands of people, many waving flags and holding signs with the names and faces of those still in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his wife Sarah have also prepared handwritten notes and goodies for the returning hostages. The note needs, and I quote, "On behalf of all the people of Israel, welcome back. We waited for you, hugging you." So joining me live on the broadcast is Darren Rockman. He's live from Israel. Mr. Rockman, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. I would like to get your first response on these encouraging visuals that we are getting from Tel Aviv. People are waiting there, welcoming those hostages who had been in captivity for over 2 years.
Yes, thank you. This is a joyous day in Israel. The country has been waiting, as you said, for 2 years. Every single day there's been protests. The country has waited for this to happen, and now we're here. It seems 7 of the hostages already home, 13 more on their way. We also have 28 hostages who have been killed. Their bodies also need to be returned. And so for Israel, this is the closing of a long and very, very painful chapter. And now we're beginning to see the visuals of the first hostages coming back. Sadly, they are emaciated, they have been starved, we know they have been tortured by Hamas, and it just shows the terrible enemy that we are facing. Hamas is a death cult, nothing short of it. They believe in death over life, and they have treated the hostages that they have kept for 2 years, no communication, not with the Red Cross, not with the Israeli government, not with their own families. And as I said, they've been starved and tortured the whole way along. And their long and very difficult rehabilitation will start now. But for us, Israelis, and for everybody here, as I said, this is an incredibly joyous day. We're massively thankful to our friends around the world for helping this happen, and particularly to President Trump.
Absolutely. Mr. Rockman, we are seeing that both the parties over here are on the negotiating table, and that's why we saw this release of hostages as well. And we are also seeing release of Palestinian prisoners. Do you think going forward, Hamas can have a role to play in the peace plan, or it has to be completely dismantled in order for Israel to maintain its stance?
There is absolutely no role, and there can be no role for Hamas in the Middle East. They are a destructive force. The people that are most impacted by Hamas are the Palestinians. The Palestinians have suffered terribly because of the cruel, inhumane and violent policies of Hamas. We're seeing it today. As Israel is withdrawing from parts of Gaza, there are live fights in the streets where Hamas are mowing down with machine guns other Palestinians. This is not a group that can have any role. And that's not just the opinion of Israel. That's the opinion of the international community, who signed on the peace treaty, the negotiated ceasefire, I should say, which included Egypt and other Arab countries, obviously the United States, and they all are of the view that Hamas needs to be demilitarized, dismantled, and a new liberal government needs to be placed into Gaza so that the Palestinians there have a chance for a normal life. Because under Hamas, they did not. Hamas took the resources that the international community had poured into their territory and built the largest tunnel network in the history of mankind with a single aim, and that was to attack Israel and to destroy and kill as many Jewish people as possible. That cannot continue, not today and not tomorrow.
Right. Mr. Rockman, I'll ask you to stay on with us. We have some breaking input.